Yes, but their bill isn't voter ID, number one. It is about voter registration. It allows ICE to kick tens of millions of people off the rolls, and they don't tell them until Election Day, and you show up and you say, you're not registered anymore. You're not registered here. You're not on the rolls.
I see no reason why we can't make it so that everybody has an ID.
It's a very basic thing. It's called Save America, actually. That's what it is. It's having to do with voting and voter ID. We want to have it accurate, and you can't do that with mail-in ballots. Actually, Jimmy Carter headed a commission years ago. He said mail-in ballots no good. We're the only country in the world that's doing mail-in ballots.
Here we go. Countries that allow mail-in ballots, at least 31 to 34 countries or territories. Countries commonly cited as allowing mail-in voting include us, United States, Germany, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, the UK, France. And yeah, you get the picture. Damn near everybody allows mail-in voting.
And that would exclude, though, our military, or people that are ill, people that are away. So we're generous in that way, but people don't want mail-in ballots because you have crooked elections. It guarantees a crooked election.
Okay.
What the hell was that?
That's embarrassing.
It is what it is. It is what...
Trump, you be just saying
that in the Save America Act as one of our 5. That's voter ID. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. We want no transgender mutilization of your children. We don't want transgender mutilation. That's number 3. We want no men and women's sports. That's number 4. And we don't want to have mail-in voting where the votes go. Where the hell do they come from? So we do that. It's 5 things. They're all 99%. They say, oh, that's an 80% issue, like voter ID. No, I think it's a 99. I think the Democrats have it at 87%. The leadership doesn't want it. Why don't you want voter ID? There's only one reason. Ready? Because you want to cheat. Okay? They blame it on all sorts of things. They said it's racist. They came up with things that you have to say their imagination is great. No, we're not going to let them cheat like they did in a certain election that we won't talk about. But that election was, and they cheat now. Look, we're not going to let it happen. So we're going to go get the Save America Act, not the Save Act. Nobody knew what the Save Act meant. The Save Act, what? Save what? Save America Act. And we're going to do everything we can. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe we're having a hard time. I think anybody that votes against it shouldn't be allowed to run for office. You want to know the truth. But we're working.
Actually, the SAVE Act and now the Save America Act, as Trump just pointed out, it is actually an issue that most Americans agree that you should have some type of ID, that you should have a state-issued ID in order to vote. That's not crazy talk. In fact, you know how rare it is to have so many Americans on the same side of an issue? The only people that really disagree with it are like Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries. It's only like certain Democratic operatives that don't want it. And the fact, it's such a small group of people that don't want it, it's obvious that there's an ulterior motive behind them not wanting it. Now, I did research on this issue when it first came up, and I realized the possibility of it passing is very slim. They don't have the margins really in the Senate to get it done. But I'll tell you, I have an issue with it, and here's my issue. And if they clean this part of it up, I'm with it. I don't like the birth certificate issue. There's got to be another way to determine if people were born in the country than them having to produce their real, tangible birth certificate. Fam, that's just hard to do. Yeah, that's a disenfranchising addition to the bill. That's the part that I think is a make it or break it deal breaker for me. All right? And I think when people consider, like, okay, an ID, hey, you had me at that. Like, I'm done. Like, if it was just ID, a state-issued ID, I see no reason why We can't make it so that everybody has an ID. I don't leave the house without an ID. Back when I had a dog, I wouldn't walk the dog without an ID. I'm black in America. The idea that I would be walking around without an ID, do you realize how many descriptions I fit just being black? Anything that anyone did who may have been brown skinned between 18 and 76, they're going to stop me for it. So I always have my ID. So that's the part that everybody agrees with. It's the fine print that they don't talk about as much. Because there are people right now watching this broadcast don't know what their birth certificate is. You mean you got to bring that shit with you to the polling place? What happens if you lose it on the way? You're screwed. I remember having to go get a new birth certificate or a new Social Security card. It's a hassle, dog. But yeah, I'm with you with the ID. I'm with you with the ID. I'm with you with the state ID. Driver's license or a state ID, I get it. And you know what? A country that can put people on the moon, that can make internet access in remote places, can come up with a way to make sure everybody can get an ID. But here's the real part. This is the fun part. I don't think people that are not citizens should be able to vote in our elections. Yeah, I think citizenship should be required. In most places it is, but not everywhere. California be trying to make exceptions. New York's trying to make exceptions. You know what? And I'm tired of this being framed like this is racist against Latinos. Nah, it's racist against non-Americans. Man, I've had all types of friends. I've worked all types of places. I've been around all types of people. Man, I'm from D.C., okay? D.C. is not New York, but it's damn close. Very diverse downtown industry, government contracting, has all types of folks from all walks of life, okay? It's the nation's capital. So if you cannot work with other people, you ain't going to work long in D.C. because you're going to be around all types of people all the time. So I'm very familiar and have had very long, comfortable, friendly relationships with all types of people for my entire career. I was doing something before I was doing this. I was in the real world with a real job, working at real businesses, okay? And I can tell you, so only when it comes to politics, people try to act like it's race. Nah, if you are, I don't care if you're Ukrainian or Russian American, Ukrainian American, Russian American, German American, whatever, Italian, whatever, Nicaraguan, Belarus, Venezuela, wherever, Filipino, who cares, fam? Indian, Pakistani, Jamaica, it doesn't matter. We are Americans, and we have a vested interest in America because we are American citizens. That's the prerequisite. Fam, high taxes, lack of security, or inability to access resources, these things, these issues that we have, discrimination, the water ain't clean, the air ain't clean, like these issues that we have, we're going to share them as American citizens. A person that just got here yesterday that's not an American citizen has no vested interest in the same things. I'm telling you, if we live in the same country, if we are citizens, we're going to have a lot of the same concerns. This separation that we have with one another is faux. It's faux. All right? Many issues that we ought to have, many of the concerns that you have are going to be the same concerns I have because we live in the same country. It ain't that different. 80% of America right now has some form of Chinese takeout container in the refrigerator, doubling its Tupperware. It's not just you. And everybody's got that drawer that has old packages of ketchup or mustard or hot sauce or barbecue sauce. Huh? And everybody has an uncle that used to take way too many napkins from the fast food joint like he just won a prize. I got him. Way to go. He might run out of toilet tissue. So it's a lot more that unites us than divides us. So this idea that this is anti-discrimination against Latinos, what? You don't think there's Latinos that are American citizens that don't share the same mentality I do about safety, about job access, about lowering the cost of labor because you bring in people that don't have rights, who cannot file an EEOC complaint, who does not have to, they don't have to follow the guidelines, the HIPAA guidelines, the safety, the OSHA guidelines, the worker permit guidelines, like nothing. And they can take $5 less. Like, you think that a brother that's Mexican-American don't have a problem with somebody undercutting him and getting the job because the employer is a scumbag, greedy bastard that wants to pay this person under the table? Yeah, he has a problem with it. Well, I tell you exactly what I believe based on my research. They get rid of that birth certificate issue. Find another way to determine if you were born in the country or not. And then you got a winner. Yeah, then you got a winner. But let's stop letting Democrats win the argument on this by using a made-up criteria and a fallacy that we hate immigrants. That's crazy. That's not it. You're just not going to use immigrants against me to keep me stuck to the bottom of the country. I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to stand for it. I am willing to be called names by people that I resemble, if it means I'm standing up for us, because they don't know why I'm standing up. They don't get it. They talk bad about Jesus, so who am I to complain? But I know what I'm standing on, and I know what I'm standing on is righteous. They may not get it, but I get it. All right, let's keep it moving, fam. If this segment made sense to you, hit me up. Join us at jointimblack.com and find me at patreon.com. We do this show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays right here. Go to timblacktv.com, become a member. Next.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.